Hi, Corina.
Hello, Tiffany. Welcome.
Hi, see you. I'm glad
Nice
to see you here.
too.
Hi, Marina.
Tiffany, hello, hello. I'm very glad to see all of you here. Vaishali.
Hi, Marina. How are you?
Thank you.
Hi, all of you. Good evening.
Hello, Taruna.
Hello, Taruna. Wow,
Hi.
so nice background.
Hi.
You. Hello, Taruna, ma'am.
Hi, how are you all?
Machine na 15 naira na Chevy. I'm in a meeting now.
We are going to waiting for 5 minutes because people are still joining. And in 5 minutes we will start. It's okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Prof. Prof. At the A.
That's it's a pleasure meeting every one of us here.
Thanks, Prof.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Uh,
9. Very nice one.
yes. You're welcome, Prof.
Yeah, you're all welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, I love the way you are here. I
Yes.
want many of you to be here too, so that you see what we are doing here.
Okay, Prof.
Learn very well. You're able to learn very well.
Yes,
And know
Prof.
how to, in future, you now know how to at least do it in Nigeria here.
Yes, Prof.
I hope we are many here. Are we many? The people that
Welcome.
attended. I hope we are much.
Yes, Prof.
That's a good one. Mm.
books in the library, classrooms, students roaming around, teachers, and a huge fees to get admission. Imagine a university which is not fixed at one place, where students can study at their own ease, at their desired locations, where the curriculum is updated with the technological changes and focus on the true things which matter in life. The university which focuses on developing mindset. The university which develops skills. We are talking about the contemporary education mechanism, the virtual university. International Internship University believes in inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds, cultivating excellence in every student by enabling accessible education at their own ease through virtual internships. Virtual internships act as a gateway to a world of knowledge application that was previously held behind closed doors for the fresh graduates. The ability to meet, speak, work, and collaborate with industry professionals from a diverse range of fields, such as engineering, business management, humanitarian fields, and much more, delivers insights that the students can foster for a lifetime. It bridges the ever so glaring gap between the demands of the corporate world and the pride of academia. We invite applications for PhD, Doctorate in Literature, Doctorate in Science, LLD honors degree from experienced personnel in various disciplines who have rich experience in their respective fields. The program is offered only to a select group of accomplished individuals. As a professional, a degree or additional degree will allow you to make a greater impact. The expedient way of showing the world your knowledge, abilities, experience, and talents is with your degree and use of your titles. When you think about university, you think of a building, books in the library, classrooms, students roaming around, teachers, and a huge fees to get admission. Imagine a university which is not fixed at one place, where students can study at their own ease, at their desired locations, where the curriculum is updated with the technological changes and focus on the true things which matter in life. The university which focuses on developing mindset. The university which develops skills. We are talking about the contemporary education mechanism, the virtual university. International Internship University believes in inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds, cultivating excellence in every student by enabling accessible education at their own ease through virtual internships. Virtual internships act as a gateway to a world of knowledge application that was previously held behind closed doors for the fresh graduates. The ability to meet, speak, work, and collaborate with industry professionals from a diverse range of fields, such as engineering, business management, humanitarian fields, and much more, delivers insights that the students can foster for a lifetime. It bridges the ever so glaring gap between the demands of the corporate world and the pride of academia. We invite applications for PhD, Doctorate in Literature, Doctorate in Science, LLD honors degree from experienced personnel in various disciplines who have rich experience in their respective fields. The program is offered only to a select group of accomplished individuals. As a professional, a degree or additional degree will allow you to make a greater impact. The expedient way of showing the world your knowledge, abilities, experience, and talents is with your degree and use of your titles.
here we are. Hello everyone, this is Georgia Maneta from really hot Greece. I'm a teacher of English in the primary sector, and I would like to welcome you all to a very interesting event which has to do with bullying, how we can protect our students, how we can fight bullying, and how we can make our schools safer and better places for our kids and students as well. Before my officially starting the event, I would like to introduce you some people who are always working behind the scenes. I would like, first of all, to ask the ICT team to play a video about Mr. Piyush Pandit, the co-founder of IIU.
All right, Georgia.
Dr. Prachi, are we ready? Should I proceed without the video?
Yeah, in a second, dear.
Okay, thank you.
Determination has always been a key to success for any individual, because a pessimist always sees difficulty in every opportunity, and the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty.
Piyush Pandit. Piyush Pandit. Piyush Pandit. Piyush Pandit.
Piyush Pandit is that name, who's recognized by his multiple work genres. An international social activist, award-winning social worker, serial entrepreneur, and founder of SBB Global. He has determined his destiny by having trust in him and Almighty God. Piyush Pandit was born on 27th July 1987 in Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh, in a middle-class family. Piyush Pandit is a diligent and passionate social worker committed to serve the humanity. Piyush Pandit has played a crucial role in crafting a team of volunteers and achieved global recognition as head of Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust, which span across more than 50 countries. He has the ability to manage complex caseloads, as he granted several live interviews and press conferences on rural development, access to justice, and the right to equality. Rallies, debates, and campaigns conducted by him has impacted Government of India to achieve various noble goals. Piyush is youth leader with extensive social work experience, political activism, and stellar entrepreneurial achievements. When you think of social work and changing the world by improving human experiences, Piyush Pandit comes to mind. He's working hard to make a difference in human experience, starting with one person at a time. He firmly believes that if we uplift someone then another, we improve the experience of human race. A ripple effect played out can be seen in his work. He is proactively mentoring other social activists to encourage social activism and entrepreneurship around the world. He is working fiercely towards achieving United Nations sustainable goals in India and over the globe. The success that his organization have had is a proof of his hard work, creativity, and commitment. Under the flawless leadership of Piyush Pandit, Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust was established in 2010 and was registered in 2016 as a service-oriented voluntary organization with the aim of helping destitute, old people, children, handicapped, and women in rural areas. It goes on to include helping martyrs of Indian Army, Navy, CRPF, CISF, and other real-life heroes who lost their lives in service. The organization strives to place the humanity at forefront and bringing back the human warmth which has lost due to busy modern life. They are fighting to ensure ending poverty, unemployment, and making society better for all. SBB has become a global entity with ambassadors from more than 50 countries. SBB is an endless family working towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The goals include no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitization, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnerships to achieve the goals. SBB is working tirelessly towards eradicating darkness. Darkness for people to go hungry, be unable to afford the basic things of life, be discriminated against, and be unable to access opportunities to advance their lives.
India is still a young nation when it comes to development, but we have made much progress. SBP has added 5 new need-based goals, in addition to 17 UN goals for society to create world peace and sustainability. The founder, Piyush Pan, holds his strong vision and endeavor in strengthening the UN SDGs under his agenda of aiming to unite all the countries of the world by 2030. SBP has invented 22 goals for the development of nation, with SBP SDGs, which will have its ambassadors for promoting these SBP SDGs in 195 countries. This has been reviewed and designed after intense research by visiting some of the developing countries across the globe. SBP SDG aims at building strong bonding between these 195 countries and aims to unite them as one nation, one world.
SBP creates impact through its projects. These projects include E-Village, Gaugram, Youth Development, Namami Gange, Annadata, Rashtriya Lakshya, Next Gen Awards, Institution, Handicapped Welfare, Sports, Art and Culture, Population Control, Indian Art and Culture, Entrepreneurship, Youth Parliament, and National Medical Care. SBP carries out its social service projects in India, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. Every member of the SBP team believes strongly that they can change the world by enhancing humanity. By giving a helping hand and delivering hope, we can make the world a better place. This tireless commitment to human advancement has led the SBP team to complete 521 projects and help more than 1 million people. While the pandemic was in its toughest moments and offsetting the lives of many people, the team at SBP surmounted the challenges presented and provided relief through the COVID-19 relief fundraising. The smile that the project Ignite is fuel for keeping the SBP team moving. SBP supports the community and continues to push for that awesome future for India and for the world. A golden India is possible, but then the entire world could be golden, where everyone is safe, healthy, and comfortable. The SBP team sees a world that is free of discrimination and violence, and they're working tirelessly to get humanity a little closer to that vision With each day, rural India has been a focal point of Piyush, which gave birth to Help India Health Foundation. It was founded by Piyush Pandit and Dandi Swamiji, centered on empowering rural India. It seeks to achieve this empowerment through best practices, modern technology, and its core values of corporate thinking.
SBP works on beautifying nature by plantation drives and prudently manages scarce resources such as water and energy. Our family has made education, including preschool education, accessible and affordable, especially in urban slums, rural areas, and villages, to give every child a strong start in life. We constantly review healthcare policy and spread awareness to ensure the security of the families. SBP SDGs looks and aims to provide subsidies to support our aging population. SBP aims that masses, whether rich or poor, young or old, enjoy clean air, water, and sanitation, quality healthcare, and education, as well as lush greenery and safe common spaces. Because of these policies run by SBP, SBP has been actively playing an important role for human rights and addressing issues related to it and resolving them through Global Peace Council of the Universe and Human Rights Council of the Universe. SBP also pays a close attention of promoting peace and love for humankind and bring glory to the universe. And salute to every individual is given. SBP works around the world for climate change, where actions and concrete steps are taken to tackle it. Development work for all countries shall be done by our country heads and ambassadors in each country. They shall adopt solutions to fit their specific circumstances and priorities, as sustainable development is not a solo mission. It is a collective goal. And we have much to learn from experiences of the UN SDGs and SBP SDGs in cooperation. SBP has trained almost 5 lakh skilled entrepreneurs from more than 50 countries. We SBP aims to strengthen collective resilience against common threats such as terrorism, cybercrime, climate change, and disaster. We are helping our economies to innovate and use technology to make a vibrant and sustainable place to live and work by appointing capable ambassadors and country heads who are social workers and can work to promote SBP SDGs internationally by partnering with teams to run capacity building. We host many international forums, including the International Summit, International Clean Water, Clean Environment, Education, and Health Summit. These promote dialogue and collaboration on sustainability issues among policymakers and experts from governments, businesses, and international organizations. SBP is committed to form the first ever international internship university, which shall generate campus placements to create entrepreneurs, small and large scale industries, create sustainability and top employability for the youth by helping them with new startups.
The social work continues, and the e-village was established in 2012 to reinforce India's roots in villages and villagers. It was created to make technology accessible for all members of the village. The organization strives hard to ensure data and network connectivity across the village, thereby giving the inhabitants access to a world of information and enabling the farmers to get real-time updates on weather, agricultural products, and new harvesting methods. We can better understand the impact that the e-village aims to create. At the crux of Piyush's work is the youth. He believes that youth empowerment is closely aligned with social service. After all, if we are going to recruit people to make an impact and improve their societies, we will have to include the youth. It becomes important to develop the youth and to make sure that they are empowered. Piyush recognizes this and has set out through the SDGs to achieve this goal. Piyush is the CEO of Piyush Group. The organization covers several industries, including renewable energy, logistics, real estate, and so on. It has established itself in these industries and is leading the market because of its consistent drive for providing quality products and creating customer loyalty. Piyush Group emphasizes the need to begin now to create tomorrow's entrepreneur. This is one of their core values as industry leaders. They are striving to create sustainability and secure tomorrow by empowering the youth and promoting entrepreneurship. Piyush Pandit has succeeded in scaling the growth of these organizations, and his work has taken them to the multinational level. They are a name in the market, providing the best products and services in their industries. Piyush Group has been around for over 2 decades, but continues to adapt to the changing market environment under the leadership of Piyush Pandit. This company has attained an industry leader status because of Piyush's commitment to provide quality and exceeding customers' expectations. Just like Help India Health Foundation, eVillage, and SBB, this organization combines its values with modern technology to carry out its projects. Needless to say that his vast scope of work has provided him with the exposure, expertise, and experience to succeed in almost any field. Piyush is able to form and sustain positive relationship with people. He is able to work at resolving complex issues, a skill that is important for social work. He has received a plethora of awards and recognitions in acknowledgement of his contributions to social work. In 2018, he was recognized for his enormous contributions to society with India's Great Leader Award. This award was in recognition of his social work and youth empowerment efforts. His work speaks for itself and tells of someone who's passionate about the welfare of others. Piyush's enormous contributions to India paved his way into the India Star Book of Records in 2019. His other awards include GTF World Summit Bangkok 2019, Volunteer Hero from the I Volunteer Awards 2019, Abad Samman Samaroh 2018, Blood Donation Award from the Rotary Club of New Delhi, Environmental Sentinel Award from the Green Care Society, Yuva Gaurav Samman for Youth Welfare, and Literature Confluence Award from poet Hum Tum. Piyush Pandit believes in the philosophy of growing together. His slogan is, "Let's grow together and create tomorrow's entrepreneur." He has the vision to create a society that is based on freedom, equality, solidarity, diversity, and fairness. Piyush believes that by anchoring the journey on these values, it is possible to make India Sone ki Chiriya. Piyush believes that when we work together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. He always emphasizes that to make an impact in life, we must follow our passions and we must do all that it takes. Pour all your energy into work that makes a mark and changes society by touching lives, one person at a time.
There is no limit as to what we can achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to welcome Mr. Piyush Pandit, the co-founder of IIU. Mr. Piyush?
Georgia, he is currently unavailable, so I will be giving a little brief about IIU.
May I welcome then Dr. Prachi Gore, who is in VP Training and Human Resources Development, to tell us a few words, please.
Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, and greetings to all of you. What is IIU? As I have been asked here to speak what IIU is one of the fastest growing universities under 195 countries, 6 regions, 195 admission virtual centers, commitment to provide education to all, tie-ups around the world in every continent of the world to provide higher education free through virtual education. With the vision, internship to every student to get the experience of the corporate world, strengthening activities that spread awareness of social, cultural, traditional values, preparing a youth for brighter future, contribution, assisting social activists and sustainable development goals based courses here. And as co-founders' mission towards this productive work, where we all have gathered today with the mission, achieve excellence in the field of virtual education at affordable prices, promotion of virtual education, elimination of hurdles, guidance from mentors, something which we all have been looking for, actually seeking for, which is actually available today among all of us with the help of, yes, one of its kind, the virtual university, the International Internship University, with the technology MOOC, MOOC, massive open online course, is a free online course available for all. It helps you learn new skills and advance your career. MOOC platform provides learning opportunities where everyone all across the globe would be able to learn different skills, different courses, understand with its importance, which brings affordable knowledge to e-learn, non-traditional education, and realized it is a useful form of online learning. Whereas we have heard about many different examples, yes, Duolingo, Codecademy, Coursera, and Google Primer too. Now the question arises, why IIU? Why is it here? It's a unification of new management pattern and educational ambassadors across the globe from topmost educational institutions to share with the learners on the IIU platform, something which all students are actually looking for, affordable certificate courses, opportunities to communicate, free certificate programs, thoroughly structured courses based on SDG goals, place to exchange knowledge. IIU's internship provide first-hand experience in this corporate world, which creates unique opportunity to pursue their choice of career with great quality of education, huge ranking of courses, and best real-time work experience, where students get the experiential learning. Students are motivated towards as best citizens to develop their bright future with more than 10,000 courses available out there with the IIU. Isn't it great? Which are cost-effective, higher education, less expensive of logistics and transports as well. We all are here today together, with which we all would be able to, we empower ourselves and the entire world with the power of accessible, quality, and practical form of education. Virtual education in the new norm, and thus IIU actually provides us this opportunity to be the part of new tomorrow. We all are studying, sitting at home in all different countries, right? Learning from home with this compassion, empathy, learning different things, and all the different things, ideas, concepts. It is just next to us. The world has actually become the smaller place. Anytime, anywhere, with the IIU, things are actually very much accessible. With this, I would like to end my words and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Georgia. And thank you everyone for listening and hearing me today. Thank you so much. Over to you, Georgia.
Thank you, Dr. Prachi. As I always say, in online and live events, things which go bad can happen anyway. Is Mr. Pius here now with us? I think that he had a problem with electricity, or should I proceed?
Yeah. We can proceed with the event. Here's network issue. He has some network issue, Georgia.
Okay, so I guess we should start the event, and as soon as he joins us, or we can leave him till the end of the event, Dr. Parachi. Okay, so I know that you're all aware of the rules, but I need to remind you this. First of all, I would like to keep your microphones mute because we are here to listen to our esteemed speakers. Secondly, we will ask all three speakers to have their presentations first, and the questions will come at the end. There will be a Q&A session. However, feel free to ask your questions in the chat, because I know that it's not very easy all the time to remember the question till the end of the event. So I would like to invite our first speaker for today, Ms. Veronica Labata, who has a Bachelor of Secondary Education from Leyte Normal University, a Master in Management from Leyte Normal University, a Doctorate of Education in Educational Management from the same university, and she's also a Doctor of Philosophy for Peace Studies from the University of, let's say it in English, from the Theophany University, International Theophany University. She has been a guest speaker in many events and conferences, and she's also the country director of World Voice International, a coach and a resource speaker. Ms. Labata, are you here?
I'm here. Hello, am I
Hello.
audible? Hello.
Yes, loud and
Hello,
clear.
thank you for that kind introduction. So may I share my screen now?
I think you may. Please let me know if there is a problem. And good luck, we are all ears.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. Hello. It's nice to see you and meet you in this virtual webinar on a school without bullying. It is a dream. Is it a dream or a reality? That's a question. Good evening from the Philippines, and good morning and afternoon to everyone around the world. First and foremost, I would like to thank Ms. Corina for inviting me to this successful event as a speaker and for her trust. Congratulations to the organizer as well in advance. When I received the invitation with the topic for discussion, I was surprised to learn that it is not just students in the Philippines who wish for no bullying in school. Bullying is no longer a foreign concept to the students and teachers. I know there are teachers here in this virtual room because Ms. Corina, I have asked her last Friday, who are our participants. It is prevalent in all schools worldwide, not just the Philippines. In fact, in a report, there are 6 out of 10 students in every schools that are reported to be bullied in school. And the percentage increased all over the world. In today's discussion, I'd like to share some tips and best practices for preventing bullying in school, so that a school free of bullying is not only a pipe dream for each of us, but also a reality. But first, let us refresh our knowledge of the concept of bullying, because there are some that we refer to as bullying but are not. Teachers and administrators in schools should consider that bullying is not always what we think it is. So by identifying certain factors, we can assess, administrators can assess on how to handle every situation. Let us start the idea that for bullying to happen, there must be two actors in the scene, and sometimes with supporting actors. There are the bully and the you. Bullies are everywhere, but they can be stopped. To stop them, you must cultivate the you in yourself, your self-esteem. Let us know some tips how as we go throughout the discussion. So first, what is bullying? So bullying is considered when a person is being hurt either by words or action on purpose. Usually more than one, and the person feel bad about it. So does your students, did you observe students manifesting like this? Or even us in our workplace, do we feel about some words that the person or our coworkers thrown to us? Another concept of bullying is it includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. So you are excluded. Even if you are very fond of the person, but you are actually picked by your friends not to be in their group, that could be. But then we cannot say it is bullying per se, only that the definition calls it so. So there are discussions in my slides that could determine the real bullying. But basically, bullying is included in the someone who is not considered as in a group. So there are things to remember or scenes to be remembered or considered when there is bullying. For example, if we observe our students that they experience the same, so it's the teachers or the administrators' actions on how to handle it. The behavior must be aggressive and include misuse of power. Okay, let us digest first. What is the misuse of power? One of the signs that an aggressive act is bullying and not just bad behavior is if there is an imbalance of power. So imbalance means it is not balanced basically. One is stronger, the other is weak. The aggressive party has either the perception or reality of being greater than in some manner. So he perceives himself or herself that he is much stronger. He is above from the group of friends. So he is that powerful that he perceived of himself. So there is imbalance of power. Let me say, from the stronger and from the weak. Usually, it's the weak that is picked upon by the bully. So the aggressive party has either the perception of that. So let us take note as teachers and administrators of some behaviors that we have seen in our students. I know there are cases when face-to-face is still during classes in a face-to-face classroom. So it is our duty not to ignore such behavior. This sense of power can come in many forms. So that power, that misuse of power, what is that power I am referring to? Power can be demonstrated economically. In an adult relationship, if one person makes and controls all of the money, that may be an imbalance of power. In and of itself, that is not a problem unless they use the threat of that power to control other person. Another power might be demonstrated physically. If one person is larger, stronger, more aggressive, this imbalance might be shown if the weaker person is afraid of them. They might be afraid of being hit or pushed around. Power can also be demonstrated mentally. There are many ways this may work out, but many times we will see one person who perceives themselves as smarter or more capable and will be very pushy about getting things done their way. This is true in kids or adults. And power might be also emotionally. So those are misuse of power emotionally, mentally, physically, economically. So emotionally, many times manipulation of feelings and actions will be done based on one person's perception of themselves or the other person. Okay, another consideration that bullying happens is repetition. Bullying behaviors happens more than once or have the potential to happen more than once. So if it is repeatedly done by an aggressive person because of misuse of power, we can consider it already as bullying. So we do not sleep, we do not ignore that situation. We take actions as teachers and administrators. So in my discussion, I focused on school bullying. In fact, actually, I have in the last slide, I included some tips on workplace bullying. Another is a behavior that causes harm and the victim feels bad about it, feel unsafe. The victim is no longer happy to see her classmates, to see her teachers, his teachers, because he feel unsafe of that group that have aggressive behaviors. Next is there must be a relationship. So to manifest a bully person or between the bully and you, we can consider bullying if there is a relationship, not in intimate relationship, but a relationship that is ongoing contact. They have constant, they see each other in every day. For example, classmates, schoolmates, or a person whom the students know every day. So if aggressive behavior is manifested in one person to the weak person, we can consider that as bullying. There are bullying that is called the overt and covert. So bullying can be easy to see and detect. We call that as overt bullying. So it is manifested physically. So we can easily see that the person is crying. We can easily see that the person is lonely. But there are also bullying, actions of bullying that is hidden, subtle, and hard to detect. So this is emotionally, mentally. Then this means that if it happens, there are instances that bullying occur over that we do not see, but we feel, and we see directly into our eyes. So this means that the schools need to be alert to possible subtle signs of bullying and check in regularly with the students. So these are examples of overt bullying. We can see that actually physical harm to a stronger person, to the weak person. And then it involves physical contact such as kicking, verbal actions, name calling, and insulting. So those are overt bullying. These are observable behaviors that is manifested in a person that is the bully. Next, the covert bullying. So this is the example. If we see a student who is only at the corners, sometimes he is afraid of making friends. And usually covert bullying is very difficult for someone to enter up. So it's already some experts who can handle those people who are affected by covert bullying. And then it can include gestures and threatening looks. So whispering, excluding or turning your back. So these are the examples of covert bullying. Then restricting where a person can sit and who they can talk with. So sometimes if that person is already manifesting that kind of bullying, it's very difficult to handle. Next is social bullying is, it happens already. Spreading rumors, manipulation of relationships, excluding, isolating is often covert bullying. So nowadays we experience social bullying. So later on we will discuss about bullying using social media. And there are researchers that says social bullying is included with social media nowadays in pandemic situation. So because there is no physical contact anymore, the bullies find ways and means, because it is their happiness. They are happy of that gestures. So they find ways and means just to bully individuals. Okay, next is, there are some behaviors that can appear to be bullying but are actually harassment. So that is what I have told you in my introduction, that sometimes we perceive that aggressive behavior as bullying, but actually it's only harassment. It's a harassment, it's not only, it's harassment. Harassment is language or actions that are demeaning, offensive, or intimidating to a person. So when can we say that it is harassment? When can we say it is a bully? It is bullying. Bullying is a repetition. So harassment, if it actually done in an instances that could be only by means of language, demeaning behavior, and offensive. So there are cases that we treat children, even myself. I didn't know that it is already harassment, since the manifestations of the student is just he is lonely, she is crying, I mean, she is lonely. Then our perception is the child is bullied in the classroom, but it's the other way around. Next is, why is it not bullying? What is not bullying? Bullying is a word often used to describe behavior that is not actually bullying. There are verbal or physical aggression. Not all verbal or physical aggression is bullying, as what I have said. For example, a one-off fight or argument, or difference of opinion between friends when there is no power imbalance and they can sort it out between themselves. So it's not bullying per se. If it is only a one-off fight. You see students, they are not friends, but they sit in a corner, then they fight all the way because they disagree of something. So it is not repeated, so it's not yet bullying. So teachers, administrators should, as I have said, consider situations and factors that are seen and not seen. Next is, not liking someone or single act of social rejection is not bullying. Then one-off acts of manner or spite is not also bullying. It's only disagreements. It's not, it's for example, a friend to friend who have arguments because they are of the same level. There is no imbalance of power. So this is the formula. This is my basic formula that we've been using to identify a conflict from bullying. Because if it is bullying, we refer the student to an expert. If it is a conflict, we refer the student also to an expert who deals on conflict. There are actually in school assigned to different designations who handles these situations. So if it is a conflict, it is only equal of power. For example, classmates who disagree with something. So both of them are of equal power. For example, a teacher one to a teacher one disagreed on lesson plans is only conflicts. But if it is already, there is imbalance of power. That is the basic. If one is very, very powerful for our perception is that man or that guy is powerful enough to manipulate others, it could be bullying. So there is a proper authority that handles those situations in the Philippines, in our school, for example. So isolated incidents of aggression, intimidation, or violence, these other behaviors may just as upsetting and serious, but may need to be dealt with in a different way. So you dealt bullying and conflict in a different way. Using sexist or racist terms but doesn't mean to cause harm, or theft, taking someone else's things once is theft but not necessarily bullying. So by these manifestations or characteristics, shall I say, administrators and teachers can already or have already the idea on how to deal on something, because these are delicate matters. These are matters that cannot be ignored in the school. To achieve the school without bullying a reality, so teachers in the schools and administrators should take hand in hand, actions hand in hand to treat such behaviors in students and to control and prevent them and stop them. You will need to use your judgment to decide whether or not a specific incident is bullying. Sometimes there are misconceptions of bullying in schools that a parent sue a student or a parent, that family, because he is accusing that the student caused harm to his son or to her daughter. But then as administrator, you need to use your judgment to decide whether it is a specific incident for bullying or just a conflict. That's why I said it is a delicate matter that teachers in school or administrators should take hand in hand, cooperate one another to stop, prevent, and eradicate actually bullying in school. There are 4 types of bullying behavior. So these are very common and we know this already. So physical examples include hitting, pushing, shoving, intimidating. But these 4 types of bullying behavior is repeated. That is the clue. It is repeatedly done by the aggressor. Verbal, written examples, name calling, insulting someone about an attribute, quality, or personal characteristics. So if sometimes I've seen students who are, may I return to my, okay. Sometimes I've seen students who are bullied because of of her physical attribute. So it's very common for students in a classroom. Then there are types of bullying. My slide shift, parang nag-shift into one slide. There are types of bullying: verbal bullying, saying or writing mean things. It is teasing, name calling, inappropriate sexual comments, taunting. Some of these types of bullying are covert and overt. So we must take notice of that. Social bullying, sometimes referred to as relational bullying, involves hurting someone's reputation or relationships. Social bullying includes leaving someone out on purpose, telling other children not to be friends with someone, spreading rumors about someone. And physical bullying is the most common also in school, even in classrooms. It involves hurting one's person's body or position, hitting, kicking, pinching, and even teachers are bullied. Teachers have power, but sometimes this more powerful student bully a teacher. So it's just natural in a situation where you tolerate bullying incidents. Some specific forms of bullying include racist bullying, so mocking, intimidating, or shaming someone, or homophobic and transphobic bullying, bullying on the basis of sexuality or gender expression. It can include physical violence, cyberbullying, name calling. It is a common experience for young people who are of the same sex, sex-attracted, gender diverse, or for those who may not behave according to gender stereotypes. Many lesbians, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex students may not feel confident or safe enough to tell anyone about being bullied, especially if they have not disclosed their sexuality or gender identity to friends, families, or teachers. So who are the participants of bullying? So as I have said, there is a supporting actor. Bullying can occur with supporting actors. So are the participants, and what is the rules? So those who are engaged in bullying behavior, the target of the bullying behavior, assists the bullying and actively joins in. So in the Philippines, we call that as barkada system. Group of friends, group of people who bully one person, one student. So another participants in bullying is those who encourages and gives approval to the bullying. They reinforce it through verbal and nonverbal cues, such as smiling, laughing, or making comments, and signal it is acceptable. So sometimes there are the typical who sees and knows about someone being bullied, but for a range of reasons is passive and does not participate in the bullying or support the target. Sometimes an upstander supports the student who is being bullied by getting help from a teacher. So these are how the students reacts. Distracting the students engaged in bullying behavior, supporting the student who is being bullied, or directly intervening. These students play an important protective role for peers who are experiencing bullying. So they are also the supporting actors, especially if students have seen their classmates bullied in school. So one of the participants have the tendency to help. It is one also of the participants in a bully and you relationship in bullying. While any student can be a target for bullies, there are factors that make some students more vulnerable to being bullied. This include, so I cannot understand that there is a particular person who is actually the fruit of everything is always picked by the bullies. So that person is always vulnerable to the eyes of the bullies. So because he is being different in some way, being introverted and non-assertive. So you are prone or you are vulnerable to being bullied. You having depression or anxiety. Then lacking quality friendships at school. Displaying higher levels of emotionality. Exposure to family violence. Having a disability. Having a history of trauma. Belonging to a minority group where isolation or lack of community support is an issue. So as teachers, if we have noticed someone who have these characteristics, who have these qualities, what shall we do? So that is my question. If we say that if we see that there is a student who is being different in some way, and he is vulnerable, and we know for a fact that the student is vulnerable to bullying, being bullied. So what shall we do? So that is a question to ponder. Then how to prevent? That is now what we come in. How to prevent bullying? There should be parents, a school staff, and other caring adults have a role to play in preventing bullying. It's the stakeholders in the school have the role to play to prevent bullying. Help kids understand bullying. So explain to them. That is now the purpose of this webinar. If there are students out there in this virtual room, and there are parents and teachers as well. So we have the role to play. Talk about what bullying is and how to stand up to it safely. Tell kids bullying is unacceptable. Make sure kids know how to get help. So sometimes there are parents I have observed in our school that their cell phone numbers are written in their shoulders or hidden, but there are some place in their body that the cell phone numbers are written. The cell phone numbers of parents are written. So one time I asked a student, as if I misconcept, the student have, it is as if he is cheating. It is not cheating actually, because it's that cell phone number he is memorizing. The cell phone number is in his shoulder. That is one of the strategy where parents where the students can actually call, if it is a parent's number or a police number, so whatsoever. So it is one of the strategies that I have seen for stakeholders, that their children, their numbers are written in their skirts, something or parts in their body. Then keep the lines of communication open. Check in with kids often. Listen to them. Know their friends. Ask about school and understand their concerns. Encourage kids to do what they love. Special activities, interests, and hobbies, and boost confidence. Help kids make friends and protect them from bullying behavior. Model how to treat others with kindness and respect. So even if it is very simple, it is so simple that anybody, any students can follow or any parents can follow, that somehow contribute in preventing bullying. That somehow is our dream, that our school is not already a school with bullying, but a school without bullying. Okay, this is the tips I am telling you a while ago to stop bullying, and I found this effective. So stay fit. So if you feel that you are chubby, you are fat, make yourself fit. Stay fit. Look beautiful. Look handsome. And the bullies will be friends with you. They will make friends with you. Because I believe physical looks contribute confidence, contribute power in ourselves. It boosts our self-esteem. So if, for example, you do not used to put on powder in your face, now to stop bullying, put that on. Listen to the music. Why listen to the music? Advise students in the morning after praying, listen to the music. Since there are studies that shows that music in the morning can boost self-esteem, as if you are looking at a positive side always. It stimulates your hormone system if you are listening to the music. Then a positive declaration about yourself. What is that positive declarations? How does it help? Stop bullying? How does it help that someone bully you? It's because if you are in yourself, you declare yourself as, I can do this. I have this power. A positive declaration about yourself help you stop from bullies to come in. Then upgrade your story about the bully. So sometimes bullies, as I have said, bullies are everywhere. They are everywhere. It's because our mind is conditioned that every bully has a negative behavior. But somehow it could help stop bullying if we upgrade their story that the bully can also change. Invite them. For example, if you are riding in a bus and you somehow see the person who bully you every day, so why not invite him to sit beside you? Come here, sit beside me. And it will be shocked that in spite of the aggressive behavior he is done with you, you are still friendly. If our mindset is we upgrade the story of our bullies that they can change, then somehow you can be friends and best of friends. So there are best practices also that can stop bullying. I do not know if this best practices is applicable in your respective schools or stations. One is, and we found this in our school that is also effective in preventing bullies, is strengthen the homeroom guidance program. I know every school all around the world have homeroom guidance program. So strengthening the policy. Then strict implementation of the school policies and issued policies of the Department of Education. So here in the Philippines, we have the so-called anti-bullying law and the child protection policy. Then building a positive school climate. Then implementation of the child-friendly school policy. The child-friendly school policy is a division order. That means a school region-wide implement the child-friendly school policy where everyone make friends. May it be adult students or grade 12 students be friends with grade 7 students. During face-to-face, we conduct the induction where students enjoy dancing and acquaintance party. So we have that celebrations in our school. Then laws and policies that supports anti-bullying. This is what I said, that is strengthen the laws and policy. One is the DepEd Child Protection Policy. So this policy aims to protect the child from all forms of violence that may be inflicted by adults, persons in authority, as well as their fellow students, including bullying. So it has been active for many years now, because it provides special protection to children who are gravely threatened or endangered by circumstances. If there are schools who do not implement the child protection policy, the school is candidate for disciplinary action. Another is the Bayanihan system that we call in the Philippines. It is a child-friendly school system for both elementary and the secondary levels, because it recognizes the partnership of the school and the community. So there is a strong partnership that it is no wonder that a school that have a lesser percentage of bullying may exist if stakeholders have partnership with this school and they are very active in preventing bullying. So it is not already a dream to have a school without bullying. It is now a reality. Then we have the Republic Act number 1062. This is an act requiring all elementary and secondary schools to adopt policies to prevent and address the acts of bullying in their institutions. So I will not read anymore because I know my time is already as if I have much time to have consumed much time. That this act is about acts of bullying. This is the law that is referred to any severe or repeated use by one or more students. So this is the anti-bullying law, the Public Act number 10627. So these are the specifics of the law. Any unwanted physical contact between the bully and the victim, like punching, pushing, shoving. So if this is strengthened, so no students would dare to bully co-students. Any slanderous statements or accusation is also covered. Cyberbullying is also covered in this law. So that's all. Thank you very much, my references. I'm just caring about my other speakers. That's why I am conscious of my time. So sorry for consuming enough.
Thank you. That was a really detailed presentation on bullying and its types and ways on how to prevent it from happening to schools, and how potential victims of bullying can protect themselves. Thank you very much, Ms. Lapata.
So I will stop sharing.
Yes, please. Thank you. Moving on to the second speaker now. Where is Abhishek? Abhishek, can you turn on your camera? Okay, can you see a smiling boy there? Hi there. Okay, this is Abhishek Chaudhary. Taruna, I hope I have pronounced his name correctly. He's almost 13. His birthday is in a few days. He comes from a hardworking school, Ramagya School, Dadri. His hobbies are always to gain knowledge, and his dream is to travel all over the world. Every weekend, he collaborates on activities focusing on SDGs in order to make the world a better place. And he is also a student ambassador in many programs. Abhishek, welcome. We are all ears.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction. So let me share my screen and let's see. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Yes, Abhishek, it's good.
So Hello everyone, it's me Abhishek Chaudhary from India. I'm just 12 right now, going to be 13 next week. So I'm from Ramagya School, Dadri, as you can see my school logo in the bottom. And this is me, my one photo is there. So today we are going to discuss about a school without bullying. Is it a dream or reality? So for me, it's 100% dream because in every school there are students who bully others. This thing is mostly done by the students who belong to the rich family. I don't know why after getting lots of money people start believing themselves great and then they bully others. Do you guys know these persons? Can somebody tell me who are they?
They can write in the chat if they want, Abhishek.
Yes.
Can anybody
Maybe
tell
they
us
can
the
unmute.
names?
Maybe they can
Yeah.
unmute themselves and they can tell me that, do you know these persons? So I think I have to tell. So the first photo is of Elon Musk, then Thomas Alva Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, which you are using right now. And third is Albert Einstein, who is having the highest IQ level in the history till now. But there is an fact about them, these guys were also bullied by others in their childhood. But the difference was that they shut the mouth of teasers by getting successful. So I think you should also be strong and be successful and then talk to the teasers face to face and then look at their reaction and then explain them the thing they did was wrong. One thing I wanted to say to the students or people who are being teased by others that this is the world and you can't shut everybody's mouth. Means you can shut maybe one or two students or two people mouth, but you can't shut everybody's mouth. So there is only one way to shut everybody's mouth is that become successful. Maybe if you are a student, do not focus on the teasers, just focus on yourself. So, if people are trying to bring you down, if they are bullying you, so believe me, it only means that you are still above them. So do not get hurted. Now, let me tell you some of the effects of bullying when it is done. So there are two types of effects that are being made, physical effects and the emotional effects. It causes physical, it causes stomach aches, weight loss and gain, headaches, drop in grades, then drug or alcohol use, sexual activities, physical aggression, suicidal or homicidal. And it causes emotional effects too, like alienations, low self-esteem, insecurity, fear, depression, withdrawn aggression, anger, vengeful. So these were the effects. And when people bully others, so if the bully limit cross, so then the people or the students, they decide to suicide. So there are many circumstances where the students have suicides just because of this bullying. So there are some of the suicide preventions that I'm going to tell you. So listen them carefully. First, start prevention early. Means if you are having any child or student, so let your eye be on that student or your child since childhood. Then talk with your child about bullying. Means ask him regularly about, is there any issue is he facing any issue? Is someone troubling him? Like that. Then keep up with and monitor your child's social media, websites, email, text, and messages. Because as teacher said, there are circumstances where people bully others by using websites, means social bullying. Then seek mental health counseling services if your child seems frequently depressed, maybe considering suicide or maybe bullied. So you have to be very, very careful about this. Then we have what are the causes of bullying? So it lack of a support system, then it causes discrimination and prejudice, and then conflict, low self-esteem, and stress. So now let me tell you some of the impacts of bullying. So the impacts of bullying by bullies. So it leads to injuries, fear, embarrassment, low self-esteem, depression and anxiety, and risk of suicide. Now let me tell you about impact of bullying by bystanders, means who are watching that bullying. It leads to tobacco and smoking use, alcohol or drug use, mental health problems, depression and anxiety, miss or skip schools. Then physical impact of bullying. It causes headaches, muscle pain, digestive upset, weight change, altered immune functions, then possible link with heart disease. And the impact of bullying by bulliers. So it causes drugs and alcohol abuse, aggressive and destructive behavior, drop out of school, early and risky sexual activity, criminal and traffic convictions, and intimate partner violence. So it's very important to have it eyesight over there. Then we have the effects of bullying on children. So it low downs your self-esteem, it increases the risks for depression or stress. Then it gives negatively impact on your academic results. It makes children feel insecure. It can lead to future long-term problems. It increases stress level among children. Then it leads to feeling of loneliness and isolation. And it can lead to changes in sleep and eating patterns. It increases for developing mental health problems too. And it increases anxiety level too. So as I mentioned in the starting, that if you are a student or any people, so just focus on yourself. Do not focus on teasers. But if you focus on teasers, let it be in positive way. Like, let me tell you a story. So once upon a time, there was a frog, and there were 100 frogs too. So the frog said to 100 frogs that I'm going to climb tree. Then the 100 frogs said that you won't be able to do that. You are a loser. They said that limit yourself. You can't do that. You can't do it. And they said frogs are not meant for climbing trees, etc. Means they demotivated him. But here was a twist. The frog, which was saying that I'm going to climb tree, was deaf. He was not able to hear anything. So the other frogs were demotivating him, but he felt that they are saying that yes, you can do it. Means he was thinking that the other frogs are motivating him, and just because of this only, he successfully climbed the tree. So here you can learn one thing, that try to assume things like challenges. Like if somebody bully you today, then set the goal that one day he or she would automatically come to me and he or she would say sorry to me. Accept that challenge, and I'm damn sure that you would be reachable towards your challenge. So now let me tell you that how can we treat those people who do these bullyings and all. So there is the best way, that put him or her on the place of the person who is being bullied somehow. And then I'm definitely sure that the guy would definitely realize what he or she was doing. And then ask them how it feels like when somebody bully you. Else, I think everything is possible if we try to. Hope you understand. So now let me tell you my own life example. It's little small, but having a very large meaning. So it was about 10 days ago, I just started playing badminton after the COVID break. I was playing badminton with my teammate, and there was opponent team too. So the match started. The opponent team scored 19 points and our team was at 6. After some time, the score changes to 20. means if the opponent team scored one more point, they would have been win. And we were at 11. So the score was 20-11. They had a lead of 9 points. Then the opponent team started bullying us. They said, losers, losers, losers. If you have power, so defeat us, like that. Means they were bullying us. Then me and my teammate decided that we are going to win this match. And then we would look at their reaction. We did our best and somehow won the match. And then we proved them wrong. And then they realized that that the thing they did was wrong, and they said sorry to us. Then they told us one thing, that after getting at the top, something like pride, what we say in Hindi, ghamand. So a pride get inside of us. So they thought like, I'm only great, nobody can beat me now, I'm great, and I will bully others because I have achieved everything in my life, like this. So the pride comes inside us. So actually it happens with everybody when they are at top, but you should know how to react that time to the people who are below you, because that's the actual time where you should show the real kindness or how polite you are. So one thing I wanted to add, that you will never reach higher grounds if you are always pushing somebody other, means if you are pushing others down, means nobody has scored the higher limits if he or she has put in somebody down. So do not put somebody down. Get a hand for them, lend a hand for them, and make them to your level. Do not make somebody bully. So I want to say that don't bully others, be a friend for everybody. And so I want to say that stop bullying. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abhishek. It was really refreshing to learn about bullying through the eyes of a student. Congratulations. I can see a lot of people congratulating you. You did an excellent job by presenting the effects of bullying on a student's soul, which are very serious, and it's not easy to heal them. Thank you, Abhishek. And moving on to our last speaker, last presenter, but not the least for today, I would like to present to you Mrs. Kate Keaveney from the UK. Kate, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Hi. Kate is an old friend. Let me tell you first her job. She's a specialist teacher in special educational needs. She has an MA that focuses on assessing and reporting on literacy difficulties. Most of her time, she offers support and advice to schools and assesses pupils. Generally, she works with pupils with specific learning difficulties such as dyslexia, speech and language difficulties, and autism. And I would like to thank her especially for being with us today, because it's her daughter's birthday. And she has given some of her time to us in order to enlighten us on a bullying topic. Kate, the floor is yours.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen first.
Yes, please. And good luck.
Thank you.
Can you do it?
I think so. I just need to.
Yes, okay.
Share my PowerPoint. Okay. Hopefully is that working?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I am probably not going to speak as long as the other speakers have, so partly because it's my daughter's birthday, but also I was told to prepare kind of 10 to 15 minutes, so that's what I've prepared. So I have thought about, I know that Georgia has explained my role, But for a long time, over 20 years, I've taught in a primary school, working with children from ages kind of 3 up until 11-year-olds. And so the past year I've been working more specifically with special needs children, but prior to that I spent a lot of time working in school teaching. So I thought about this from the point of view of how we can teach younger children about bullying and about how we can kind of prevent it, because I think our role as teachers, most importantly, is to educate children to understand what bullying is and how to become kinder, have more empathy, more care for others, how to think about all the different things that can impact. And one of the ways that I've done it is through stories more than anything else. So through teaching children so that we're not dealing with a child in our class, but we're dealing with a character from a story. And that way children can open up a lot more and think about it without having to single out individuals or talk about their own experiences. But sometimes by using a story, children will open up and start to talk about things that have happened to them and how it's made them feel as well. So I'm just going to show you. So these are some of the stories that not only in school have I used, but during sessions online with children as well, I've used these. And one of the things that during a lot of the lockdowns that we've had in the UK, I've kind of spent time recording, reading stories and discussing these ideas. So these ones were ones that I used initially to start to think about where children might be finding it really difficult to talk about how they're feeling and understanding what was happening in terms of coronavirus, but also other worries that they might have. Because as soon as we moved to the kind of virtual world, children needed to then understand messages that their friends were sending them and interpret them. And it can be really difficult to understand if someone's being kind or unkind when you can't see their faces. It's really hard to understand when someone responds to you online through a message that it might actually not be that you've done anything wrong, that they're just sending you a quick message. So talking about the kind of things that were worrying children more gave us the opportunity. So these 3 books were ones that I really enjoyed using. So Ruby's Worry is a story about a little girl who she begins to start to worry, and her worry grows and grows and grows, and soon it takes over her life. So that discussing, if you have something that's worrying you as a child, the importance of talking about it and making sure that when you talk about it, those worries can then go away by sharing them. And what happens in the story is Ruby eventually finds another child who's got a worry, and they share their worries, and they learn that by talking about their worries, that they can actually make their worries go smaller again. And so using that with children gave that opportunity for them to be able to talk a little bit about the things that they were worried about, things that were bothering them. And for children, you know, if you are being bullied, it's giving them a way of saying, well, I worry about coming to school, or I'm worried about, you know, and then I was able to pick up on children who perhaps wanted to talk about their worries, but didn't want to talk about it in front of the whole class. So creating things like a worry box where children could pop into it, just a little note to say, I'm worried about this, and it would be a message to me that I could then check on if the child wanted to talk to me as the teacher rather than sharing it with the whole class. But sometimes children were happy to share their worry with the whole class and for us to discuss how we could solve that. So it was an opportunity to try to make sure that children could talk about things that might be happening to them, and hopefully then be able to prevent things becoming a bullying situation instead. The Worrysaurus is another very similar story that Ruby's worrying, the fact that the Worrysaurus gets very worried when he's on his own. And what he has is a kind of little box of things that help him to feel safe again. And so, again, I use this book as a way of talking to the children about things that make you feel safe, who you can go to protect you, to help you if you're feeling uncomfortable or in danger from anybody. And again, when we think about bullying, we also had to think about the fact that children were at home during lockdown, and children might need protecting from people within their own home as well. I've worked in some quite disadvantaged areas where there's a lot of things going on, a lot of large families. And so, you know, to be able to talk about what might be happening between them and their siblings as well was really important too. And then The Colour Monster is another lovely book about just kind of the different emotions that children may have. And we were able to discuss it, and I've just got it here, which you probably can't see if you can't see me, but it's a really lovely book to just go through the emotions that you might feel in different colours, and for children to be able to really kind of talk about that and develop that. And I think, you know, I would really recommend that as a book for talking about emotions and things. So then I thought about another one, which, you know, another one, same author as Ruby's Worries, and there's a whole series of books by Tom Percival now, and The Invisible came out during lockdown, and it's about a little girl who is, people don't notice her. And again, an opportunity for those children that perhaps feel that nobody notices them, that nobody is seeing them, and they are the ones that, you know, are vulnerable to being bullied or may have been bullied, and that's why they've made themselves invisible. So another story that was an opportunity to kind of think about how we can make sure that everybody is okay. And a really nice way to talk to children again about how, by helping each other, by saying hello to each other. This little girl in the story, she starts to talk to other people who are invisible, but they're not really, but people don't notice them, and she starts to help people, and together the world becomes a better, brighter place because she's actually noticing, and people are noticing her, and it's all about kindness. And I think, you know, one of my really important things is actually teaching children to be kind, to care about people around them. And so we did lots during lockdown about how we could remind others and be kind, and how we could send people messages so that they didn't feel they'd been forgotten about, including, you know, others in our class who we might not have seen online because they couldn't get online, or, you know, just making sure that we didn't forget about anybody who might be feeling lonely, and making sure that we noticed as well in the playground children who might be on their own, because that's another, you know, it's a concern. If a child is on their own in a playground full of other people, they're going to feel very isolated. And, you know, the reasons may be because they've been bullied by others, or because they haven't got friends. And that's really important to notice those children too. And so then I kind of thought, I moved on to thinking about how we can support children in terms of encouraging their empathy and their understanding. So a few more stories that I think really help children to think about the world in a different way, and to think about how others might feel, because we don't know each other. We don't necessarily know why somebody becomes a bully, and actually maybe they are experiencing things elsewhere that have made them very angry. So it's about trying to help everybody to understand one another and to find the right ways to express themselves. And so in these stories, these are stories about children who, the first two are Shelter for Sadness and The Perfect Shelter, both stories about loss and about needing those people to support you with loss, but also, you know, feeling quite angry. And I mean, another book that I think is a really good one that I've not put a screenshot on here is a book called A Monster Calls, which is about a child who, one is a kind of secondary age child who's being bullied at school. His mum's got cancer and is dying, and you know, he's really struggling. And by sharing those kind of stories, it helps the children to really understand how others may be feeling, and also understand the impact of bullying onto those children who may also have other reasons and other things going on. And then the journey kind of follows on from that, in the sense of it's thinking about a child who has had to travel and find a safe space to live. So, you know, thinking about refugees. And the reason that I've kind of included that one in there is I worked in a school where children didn't necessarily understand about things like that, or people, you know, or difference. So we needed to make sure that they began to understand what it might feel like for those children, what it might be like, what we need to do to be kinder and have more understanding. And you know, I kind of worked a lot with children, and this was 7, 8, 9-year-olds who really found that they began to understand much more the difficulties in other parts of the world compared to what their lives were like. And I think that's really important as well, which is why I then kind of have got a few more here that I think are really nice for promoting that understanding about the different parts of the world. And you know, we all know the story of Malala, so her magic pencil and how that changes things, and how you can deal with the with bullying in the sense of, you know, what happened to Malala is a form of that, in the sense that, you know, bullying is preventing someone from doing something, making someone feel like they can't, and how she was able to stand up and be a positive role model for us all instead. So using those positive role models. And again, you know, the other stories, the suitcase is very much about difference and thinking about difference. So when this character arrives with a suitcase, all the other animals think that he's very different, and they all suspect that he might not be a very nice person, and or I'm not sure what animal he is, but they think that he's going to be bad, and they make all these assumptions, and so and don't make him feel welcome. And then he falls asleep, and they open his suitcase, and in his suitcase are some really precious things that he's bought, all on a long journey to where he is to be safe. And they realise their mistake, and they then support him and help him to settle into his new home. And so it's another story that, you know, I would pause it at the point at which they've opened the suitcase and, you know, they've been quite unkind, and discuss what they should be doing, and encouraging the children to explore that and say, actually, you know, what are these characters doing wrong, and how can we better support them to do the right thing? And of course, in the end, they do the right thing. Then just the understanding of different lives, really, for children as well. So Beatrice's Goat and One Hen is all about stories that kind of inspire us to think about, you know, what others have gone through to achieve their dreams, to achieve kind of their safety, financial independence, and so on, and just understand how in different parts of the world things can be very different for children. Then I kind of also like to inspire our children. So, you know, Greta, I think if you think about bullying as well, Greta has suffered some awful bullying from adults as well. And to be able to discuss that with children is really important. Some of the things that have been said to her on social media, on Twitter, and to be able to teach children about how those people then should be dealt with, and how we need to actually be reporting and stopping any kind of online bullying of anybody that actually is not acceptable in any form, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's a group in the playground, or whether it's online. It needs to be challenged at all times. And again, I've got Malala there as another kind of inspirational one. And then a couple of other books. One, you know, it's more about caring for the world as well, and particularly about kind of teaching children to care more and think about that. And then the stories, there's a whole series of stories about different animals who struggle with kind of being able to do things and understanding and so on. So it's about a koala who thinks he can't do anything and kind of learns how to. And again, you know, children who struggle in some areas in learning may be the victims of bullying if other children don't understand how hard it is for them. And so actually using stories like this gives an opportunity to teach children that actually, you know, we can help others and we can be kind to others and we can really support others instead of being the ones that make fun and are unkind to other children. Let's try to be inclusive and supportive of all children. And then, you know, I kind of think that making a difference is really important too. So, you know, the stories that we can use to kind of teach them about making a difference. Again, you know, it's using some of the things that are happening in our world to be able to discuss this, but you know, that there's a whole lot of making a difference. The saying that actually something is wrong and we can change that is so important for our children to learn to do. And so they're just some lovely stories that can again be used to kind of discuss some of the issues. And this is like this story is about a boy called Eric. And I thought I've always used this book when it's we have anti-bullying day. And it's a really nice story to use with the children because it's about a boy called Eric who does lots and lots of really stupid things. And he gets called a nit, a twerp, a dimwit, stupid, slow, clumsy. He gets called a twit. He gets called a dope, a dunce, a dummy by everybody, including his teacher in school. And he is so unhappy that he runs away. And he doesn't really run, he kind of walks away, but he runs away and he hears someone shouting, "There's a monster." And there's a monster coming down from the mountains, and the woodcutter comes rushing down, and the people hear this monster coming, and everyone's very afraid and they start to run away, and the people start saying, "Where's a hero when you need one?" And then the others are saying, "A hero? The hero would need to be a twit to go and fight that monster. He'd need to be a nitwit and a dummy and a dunce and a dope." And because Eric has heard all those words and been called all those words, he thinks, "Oh, actually, I'm all of those. So maybe I'm a hero. Maybe I can go and stop the monster." So he goes to stop the monster. Everyone looks again and they're still calling him all these names and being really unkind as he goes towards the monster instead of running away. And he gets closer and closer to the monster and he tells the monster what he is. He tells him that he's a twit and a nitwit and a dummy and a dunce, which are all really horrible words to be called. And the monster looks at him and says, he says, "So am I." And he's the same thing. And he says that all the other monsters that he lived with say that, and that's why he ran away, and that he doesn't have a friend, and neither does Eric. So Eric and the monster become friends, and they then are able to see that Eric actually was a hero. But the more important bit of the story is the name calling. That calling of names that can make such a difference to how a child feels. And so even though it's not necessarily bullying, it's a really good story to think about how children will internalize those names that they're called. So if you constantly tell a child that they're not good at something, that they're stupid, that they're a dunce, that they're a twit, then they'll believe that. And that's what Eric believes about himself. And so it's really important that we support children to understand that they're not those things, no matter what anybody says, but also to understand the impact that words can have on others. So making sure that they don't use those words against others as well. And so that's why that story, I really like for using that. So can we stop bullying? Is it just a dream? Well, I don't think I can answer that question. What I can say is, you know, our role as teachers is we teach and we remind children, we show them how to care, and we model the right ways to speak to one another. We model the right words. We teach them about the words that hurt. We teach them about different viewpoints and ideas, and that we don't argue, that we discuss. Instead, we teach them how to have discussions about beliefs, about differences, how we can understand different religions, how we can understand different cultures, how all of those things can be celebrated and not something to be unkind to others about. And that's our role as teachers. We can make that difference by actually kind of really supporting and teaching our children instead. And I do believe that's a really important role that we have. And I just want to make the final kind of point that actually, you know, I know everybody's heard that it's one of my daughter's birthdays today, and she has had a really hard time at school. She's 17 now, so she's at college, but she's had lots of experiences of people being quite unkind and of her being bullied at school as well. And, you know, it takes a lot for a child to stand up and say that that's happened. And, you know, it's had a huge impact long term on her academically, socially, and everything. So we need to teach children to say when it's happening to them, but we also need to teach children to speak up for each other and say when something they see is wrong. Don't watch, but actually remember that if we don't stop and say that's wrong, then we're supporting it in still happening. And that's a really important thing to share as well. And I'm going to stop sharing now. So thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Yours was a different presentation because of the books you presented. So I think everybody here has the whole package on how to teach bully and fight against bullying. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. I've got lots of questions as well.
Wait, I'll moderate the questions. Just give me 1 minute before, because Mr. Pius is having some internet connection problems, but now he's here with us. So I would like to ask him to tell us a few words, and then I'll go on.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you so much. You are doing a wonderful job. And welcome to all of you. And this yet another virtual event of IIU. My name is Piyush Pandit. Hope you all are gaining and learning from this meeting. Thank you all for understanding my delay in getting to you due to electric problems. Today's issue is the result of in-depth study of respected Ms. Corina. This issue is important because it's about the children. We have to learn to give good environment to all children so that they can make good career in life and healthy life. I thank all of the speakers present. I thank Ms. Corina ji because of whom this has become possible. IIU is known for higher education, but soon we will set up kids learning lab in which will be important for work on mental development of children. Hope you will support us in all the work aim to do in the near future for child development. Thank you all again. Namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Pius. That was short and to the point. So it is time for your questions. Maybe you don't have any questions because our presenters were really clear, but maybe you do have. So I would like to see your virtual hands raised so they can check them, or I would like to see your questions written in the chat. What would you like to do? Okay, I have two hands here. Can I ask, I'm not sure how I pronounce this name anyway, Gita Pandey? Or Geta? Or maybe is it a mistake? Geta Pandey? Or Rahim Mubarak Mohammed? Raise hand again. No, for the time being. Let me check for more hands. No questions. Okay.
Georgia,
Victor Olani. Yes, Kate.
I have some questions that are directly messaged to me, not to everybody else.
I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, I can't see these questions. If they were to you, I can't help you.
Would you like me to tell you the questions and then I can answer them really quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes, and I have a Victor Olani. You could wait for a minute, please, so that Kate can answer these questions. Thank you. Yes, Kate, go on, please.
So one of them was a question about what age these books are for that I shared. So I am a real believer in books not really needing to have an age on them. So they are picture books, so you can share them with quite young children, but I would also share them with much older children as well, because I think they're just nice to look at, to read and to explore and discuss the ideas within them, and older children can enjoy them. So I've used them with 4 and 5 year olds, but I've also used them with right up to kind of 11, 12, 13 year olds to discuss. And then I didn't present them, but I do have some other books that I would suggest you'd use with even older children as well, that cover issues that can be discussed really nicely as well, which I'm happy to share as well if that's something that people would like. The other question was, how do you share the storybooks with your students during lockdown? What I used to do was I used Teams with my children, and I would record myself reading the book, and then I would just upload it so that it could be watched. But then I would also do a live kind of Teams meeting where I would read the story to my children as well. So they had kind of 2 ways of accessing the book, so they could go back and read it or watch the video afterwards. So they were my 2 questions, I think, that was sent.
Just one more question.
Do we have international
Please,
law?
I would like to mute yourselves now that we have given you the right to unmute wherever you want. Please mute yourselves and I will call you one by one. Thank you very much. Kate, go on, please.
I had finished answering the questions now, so I will let you carry on now, Georgia.
Now, wish me luck, because I can see so many hands. Okay, thank you. All right, let's move. Let's start with Get Up and Day again. I don't think anyone is there, so go on. Victor Olani. I'm gonna show you. I heard you 2 minutes ago, Victor. Moving on to Parisa Sasteva. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name correctly, Parisa. You can unmute yourself now.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Hi there.
So,
what's your question? Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, how is direct bully different from indirect bully?
Do you have a specific person who would like you would like to answer the question? Marisa, is the question for a specific person or not? You have to unmute yourself again. Okay. Her question, if I understood correctly, is how we understand between direct and indirect bullying, right? Is that it? Okay. I would like to ask Miss Veronica to answer this question, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Parisha, how old are you? May I ask? How old are you, Parisha? Is it you who asked the question?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, Parisha?
How old are you?
I assume you are grade 5. So you are elementary, I assume. So the difference between direct and indirect bullying is that for a direct bullying, it can be harm, it can be for physical contact. You can be bullied directly through aggressive behavior such as physical contact, like kicking, pushing, punching, just like that. Indirect is through emotionally. It can it targets emotional and mental. You can be bullied indirectly using such gesture, showing behavior that can affect you emotionally and mentally, like when you are called not by your names, or you are accused of something that is not that you feel about it. So that is indirectly. So if there is a great difference for a direct bullying and indirect bullying, and the effect is also different. So for direct bullying, for me it is more abusive for an aggressor to inflict harm on you directly through physical contact. It happens actually for people who have misuse of power. Usually, it is gender. It is not on issues about gender that only boys can do the direct bullying, but also to girls. So several instances that I have observed, there is much effect. There is much effect of indirect bullying rather than physical or direct bullying. So I may refer you confused of physical contact than from the hidden, that because we have two bullying, that's overt and covert, those that cannot be seen and those that can be seen. So both of them are very different, and the effect are also very different. There are observations that more harmful it is for persons to be bullied indirectly. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to remind to the people who have virtually raised their hands, as soon as they have their question answered, to lower their hands so that I don't get mixed up. You see, I'm quite old, I keep forgetting things. And I would like to invite a student from India, Shreya Sharma.
Yes, hello, I'm Shreya from Ramagia School, Dadri, India. My question is, who should you tell if you are being bullied?
Okay,
It's a very good question. Yes, it's for me again. So I appreciate there are questions that are directed to me. So that means you are very interested on topics about bullying and how to prevent it. The very first thing that you tell when you are bullied, it differs in a location that you are in. For example, if you are in school, you directly tell an adult or a teacher, because those are the person that can be trusted and can help you. So it is directly to an adult whom you can trust. So for me, the most that can be trusted are teachers. I do not know with other perceptions of teachers, but one thing that we emphasize most to those people, when there are bullies incidents that happen, we directly accompany the involved students to the homeroom guidance office, and then tell all their problems to the guidance officer, because all the information are kept confidential. So it's only the teacher in school, and if you are in it's your parents. Number one is your parents, but there are instances that we observe that there are inhibitions when students tell their parents because they do not have that good relationship. Some says that, tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. So the most advisable is, if you cannot tell your stories to your parents, tell it to your teachers. Because somehow teachers are being oriented how to deal with bullying in school. So in our school, we have that orientation of child protection policy, of child-friendly school. So somehow, I am proud to say that our bully incident are much slower compared to other schools in the region. Because some students directly tell their teachers, especially their advisors, of some incidents, even if it is only first time that they are being with conflicts with their peers or classmates. So I hope I have answered your questions. So
Thank
the
you.
most trusted one is that you can tell your story about bullying.
Thank you, Ms. Veronica. I would also like to ask Abhishek first and then Kate to reply to the same question. Abhishek, because he's a student, and Kate, because she deals with children with special needs. Abhishek, what do you think?
So, like, if you are a student and you are bullied by others, so, I think you should go to your parents because they are the protectors of the child. They never want their child to get in depression or stress. They always want their child to be happy, to be safe, to be free of without no stress, no conflict, no depression, everything. So I would like to suggest that if you have any problem, any depression, any stress, or if anybody bully you, so I would request that you should contact to your parents.
Thank you, Abhishek. And Kate?
I think one of the things we kind of try to teach children is to tell an adult. So it would be any adult that they trust, whether it's their parent, teacher, teaching assistant, another parent even. So finding someone that they can talk to about it. And I know in my experience, quite often children will go to a teacher, and I know in one instance, I'll give you an example of my own son. So in year 6 or 7, I can't remember which year he was in now, but I got a phone call from the school saying that there'd been an incident where he'd pushed another child. But when they then spoke to him, this child had been doing things to him for a long time, kicking him and so on. And eventually this child had tripped him over and he had just got up and pushed him back. And they realized that actually that it wasn't him that was to blame, it was others. So they dealt with that by kind of realizing that he was the one that was the victim of being bullying, and he had just in the end had enough of it. And so I think, teachers have that role in picking up on those things and really getting to the bottom of things. So what you might see as an incident of a child doing something to hurt somebody, maybe as a result of them just having had enough of what the other child has been doing to them. So I think we won't always know until you kind of talk to everybody involved as well. So it's really important, talk to your parents, talk to adults, but talk about it, tell someone, because they'll be able to help you. I think that would be what I would say always.
Thank you, Kate. And I feel as a mother and as a teacher and as a friend that I need to release you now because it's your daughter's birthday and you have to leave.
Can I add Miss Georgia to Kate's idea?
Let me release her first, Miss Veronica, and I would like to thank Kate. I would like all of you to give her a virtual clap because she's leaving earlier, and then we're moving on to Veronica. Thank you, Kate, and we hope we'll see you again in another event organized by IIU.
Okay, thank you very much, and sorry I've got to leave early, but bye everyone.
That's okay, take care, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, Miss Veronica.
In addition to Kate's idea about tell an adult, is that it's correct, rather than there are cases that those who are vulnerable to bullying is those children or students who do not have parents. Actually, the relationships with their parents are not good, so sometimes they persist as being bullied because they are afraid of telling stories to their parents, because as if they are not well treated and the parents just ignore situations like that. So with parents those students who have parents, the most is to tell the parents. But if you do not have parents to tell, just an adult, a trusted adult, it may be your guardian, it may be your teacher. I believe that students who live in a happy family do not experience bullying. If they experience, they can be prevented at once.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to another person from Nepal, Thakur. I can see the whole name. Are you there? I can't see the whole name. I'm trying to look for it now. Thakur. Thakur Nepali. You have raised your hands? No. Okay. Rahim Mubarak. Any questions? Maybe they were raised by... Okay. Okay. I have two more questions. Rahim, you can't... Why can't you unmute? Everybody can unmute. Can everyone else unmute themselves alone? No? Dr. Pratzi, can you help me out here?
Yes, Georgia. Well, I can't find. Okay, I'm just trying to look at it.
I'm trying to do the same thing, but I can't. Told you, technology brings us together, but technology betrays us sometimes.
Not really. I think we should move on.
Marisa, I'll try to ask to unmute you. Can you do that now?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, Pratzi, I have it. Don't worry, I'll do it. Parisa, give me your question and then I'll go back to the two people who were muted. Go on.
Okay, so now my question is to Abhishek, and my question is, how can I avoid being bullied?
Abhishek?
So was indeed a very nice question again, that how should I save myself to being bullied. So first, you should be intelligent, means you should know about all the law and orders. You should be very intelligent, means like if somebody is going to bully you, so he or she would first remember that she's very intelligent. I think she would call police if I bully her. So this could be the first prevention. And then second, you could be favorite of your teachers, because when you have a shadow of your teachers, so then nobody will thought to bully you, because they will say that always teacher is there with her, because if I bully her, so she will complain to the teacher, and I will be really very scolded by my mom or dad or my teachers. So this could be the second prevention. And third, be means be what you say, be very quick, be very responsive, be like best teacher said, be fit. Like if like there are two types of bullying, physical bullying and the emotional bullying. They could be through words or through fightings. So if you are fit, you can easily beat them. So this could be the third prevention you can do. And for it, you should be emotionally strong. Like they said that you can't do anything. Do not believe it. As I mentioned in my presentation, that if they said that you can't do it, so accept that like a challenge. Yes, she has given me a challenge, but now I can do this work and I will prove him or her wrong. So like this, there are many preventions. So how you can be safe through bullying.
Thank you, Abhishek. Now I'm trying to unmute Thakur from Nepal. I hope I can make it. Have I? Thakur? Yes. Go on.
Ma'am. Good evening. Here it's evening now, around 7:30 p.m. in Nepal. So thank you very much for letting me ask questions. Actually, I want to ask a question, very simpler question to Abhishek. Abhishek, your presentation was very fantastic. Let me introduce myself shortly. I'm a teacher here in an army school in Pokhara, Nepal. I teach social studies to the students like you. But your presentation really was an eye-opener for me, and I would like to relate the message that you delivered through your presentation to my children also. Now it's online classes are going on. When the pandemic stops and the school gets chance to reopen, definitely I will relate to your name and then your presentation about what you did here today to my children. Definitely they will be happy. So my short question goes like this. Abhishek, have you ever experienced any kind of bullying in your school? If yes, then what was the main reason among the students? They could be your friends or senior or even juniors. What were the main reasons of bullying among your friends, among the children in school that you experienced?
Yes, I experienced, you asked about, have I ever experienced bullying in my life in my school time? So yes, it was about my previous school, not this one where I am right now. I was in the last school near Mathura in India. So there was my school. Actually, I was good at studies since my childhood. So I just joined my school. The students of my class, they used to say like you are not fit, and I think you are not intelligent. So they were kind of bullying me. They were teasing me that you are kind of loser, you can't do anything in your life. And sometimes when I joined I used to do something like stupid things. So sometimes teachers also bully me that what you will do in your life, you can't do anything like this. So I was not since intelligent since my birth, but yes, after then I started working hard after getting bullied. As I mentioned in my slide, accept that like a challenge. They bullied me, you can't come first in the class. You will stay loser. You will only come last in the class. Then I accepted that like a challenge. And the teacher also said that you won't be able to do anything in your life. But no, I decided that I'm going to do something. And then from that day only, I decided that yes, I'm going to do something in my life. and I started working hard. Slowly and gradually, I got perfect in my studies. I used to rank first in my class most of the times. But again, one bully was on my head that, Abhishek, you are not good at sports. Means the bulliers used to say that, I believe you are good at studies, but studies can be done by anybody. If you have power, so defeat me in the sports. So then I realized that yes, again the bullier is saying right that from only studies it can't be beneficial. I have to be best in the both the fields, in the sport field and the educational field. So then I started playing badminton, and since it was tournament about 1 year ago, I bet means I beat those players who were teasing me that time. I did my best in the badminton, the golden trophy, and that was my journey about the person bullied me, and I accepted the challenge, and I shine like a star. Thank you.
Way to fight against bullies and bullying. I don't want to take most of your time, so I'll ask the two last people to ask the questions. I'll unmute first Rahim Mubarak. Can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam. I would like to ask a question, at least actually two questions to Madam Veronica. The first one, I like the idea between conflict and bullying. And my first question will be, do you agree that conflict will lead to bullying? All right. And my second question, what kind of, would you suggest actions that should be inflicted toward the oppressors, all right, within that two categories, either in conflict or the bullying? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rahim, for your question. So with regards to conflicts that will lead to bullying, it can be, I agree, if the conflicts are repeatedly done. But if it is only once in an incident happened between students, that is mere only conflicts. But when it becomes now bullying, that conflicts is being repeated. And it can occur with the imbalance of power. Usually, the natural conflicts is just a disagreement between the same level of persons. But then there are also conflicts that are manifested when there is imbalance of power. And if it is repeatedly done, it may lead to bullying. That is already bullying. And the other question, what is that? Can you repeat the other one? What is, Mr. Rahim? I can't get your question because it's choppy. The other question, I received it with a choppy signal. Mr. Rahim, can you repeat the other question?
I'm trying to find him now, to unmute him.
So somebody can repeat the question for me. I received the signal with a choppy internet connection.
It was, yes, it was a bad internet connection. And I can't find him now. No.
It was just choppy that I can't understand the second question.
He is not here anyway. I can't find him.
So what is the question all about?
I couldn't hear it. Oh, he's here. Okay. Mr. Rahim.
What is the other question, Mr.
Yes,
Rahim?
yes.
Because I received it with a choppy signal.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So in that two categories of conflict and bullying cases, all right, would you suggest a different or the same penalty inflict towards the oppressors? Yeah, thank you.
So the same penalty. Actually, I did not experience giving penalty to a conflict, but rather to a bullying incidents. I never experienced we give penalties to conflict incidents, but rather we give penalties to bullying incidents. It's because we have active implementation of the Child Protection Policy and the Republic Act 10672. But then, for the benefit of the question, there are incidents that conflict, it is considered conflict, but it can be penalized when the situation harm the other person by doing physical contact, physical injury. So there must be penalty that would be given to the person who do the harm. So in our law, if somebody is harmed, you can sue the person, and the person, if it is found guilty, can be penalized according to the weight of the what we call this, to the weight of the crime. If the conflicts, for example, with students, making the students harm by picking his eyes with, hitting his eyes with a pencil, and it makes him blind, it is only a result of disagreement. So that would be penalized by the law here in our country. Also for bullying, in any cases of bullying, may it teasing, may it physical, verbal, written, it is penalized. There is a law that would make the person answer about the crime he committed, because bullying here in our country is penalized by the law. So it doesn't given the same weight with conflicts and bullying with regards to penalty. There is weight, as I have said, if the conflicts resulted to making the person blind, making the person disabled. So if he can be penalized according to what crime it is stated in the law. But for bullying, bullying is answerable by penalty. There is a penalty. There is no rank. If the person is guilty of bullying, may it simple or that one weight, the weight is still the same, even if it is simple or let's say complex, complicated. If it is found guilty of bullying, the same law will make the person penalized. I hope I answered your question. It depends in the country you are in. So I am only answering based on my knowledge about the laws in the Philippines.
Thank you, Ms. Veronica. Okay, I don't want to tire you more, as I said, but I'll ask you to do something quickly for me. Can you all write in the chat to everyone? If you can, I would like you to tell me from 1 to 10, 1 not at all and 10 perfectly, how well prepared do you find yourselves to deal with bullying cases after this event? From 1 to 10. Can you write it in the chat or not? Okay, I can see. Yeah, only to me. That's okay. Send to me. Awesome. 10%. 10 out of 10. 100%. Other people, how ready do you feel after attending this event? 10 out of 10. 10. That was a huge success. 10. Okay, so we had to know, we understood the types of bullying. the direct and indirect bullying. We saw bullying through the eyes of a student. We saw how we can educate students and children through the use of books. Oh, someone said 7 out of 10. Miss Corina, we have to organize another event on bullying then. So I would like to thank everyone who was there today with us. We hope that you have gained knowledge. Remember to fill in the attendance form. Miss Corina, could you please put it again in the chat? I wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see you again to our next IIEU event. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope I can contribute something that your school.
Of course you have. I wish I could
yes.
unmute you all, but I can't. I can see smiling faces and this is good, but you can give me some hearts or some applauds to applaud all people. Yeah! This is enough for everyone. Thank you. Take care. See you again to our next event. Bye-bye.